Hurricane season is upon us. 2025 it runs from June 1st to November 30th, and we're almost 2 months in. Historically, August, September is a little more active for us, and I want to take opportunity to share with people some quick information on what's a good kit to have in your home if you live in Eastern North Carolina for hurricane season. So I've pulled this from the American Red Cross website, and it is their survival kit supplies. So some of it's a little over the top in my opinion, but still it's a good baseline to have. They say a gallon of water per person per day, 3-day supply for evacuation, and 2-week supply for home. That's kind of tight, especially if you have four or five people living in a house. I do recommend having drinking water, and then like if a storm's coming and the weather channel is calling for it to potentially be bad, filling your bathtubs up, always a good idea. It gives you water you can use to flush your toilets and different things like that. And you can even boil it off and clean it by boiling it, and use it for cooking and stuff too. So, non-perishable food items. From my experience of living in Eastern North Carolina almost my entire life, and going through storms like Floyd and Florence and different ones that were historically some of the worst ones we've had around here, like 3 days for everybody in the house is a pretty good amount for non-perishable food items, because you have to think if you lose power and say you've got steak in the freezer or other kinds of meat, you're going to want to go ahead and cook that meat in the freezer because your freezer is going to be thawing out. So you're going to have some stuff that's not non-perishable that you'll still be able to eat those first couple of days, and you can save those canned items for after you're done with that stuff. Other things they're going to have is a battery powered or hand crank radio. You'll see the little cutaway video of the actual weather radio. Those do come in very good handy to keep up with what's going on. If heaven forbid our cell phones don't work for some reason, you could have that radio and you can get some updates on what's going on with the storm or what kind of recovery efforts are coming and stuff. And that's pretty drastic. That's not a normal, that would be like a drastic major storm recovery thing, but it's better to be prepared than underprepared. Other things are extra batteries, first aid kits, medical supplies. So you can buy a first aid kit, or you can put one together if you know what your needs are for your household. Also, one to think about is if there's a storm coming and you have certain prescriptions, or if you have medicine that has to be refrigerated, something that you need to consider how you're going to do that if you lose power. You know, whether you have a generator or not, and how that'll work. With prescriptions, you could talk with your doctor and see about getting like an extra week or something, just in case you're not able to get those refilled, or making sure they're refilled before storm comes. Multi-tools, cell phone chargers, extra cash. They have emergency blankets. I don't know how applicable that is for East North Carolina when a hurricane comes, because normally it's pretty warm out. So, but you may need them to lay out on the floor or something, so you can open the windows and not want to lay in your bed. But anyway, having a map of the area, a printed out paper map, which I know that's not common anymore, but having that and having it laminated so you don't have to worry about getting wet, it's great. Just in case you do have to evacuate and you can't get your GPS to work, you could, or you have to take alternate routes due to flooding, a road flooding or something, then you would know how to get where you're going. One that I had not thought about before, but is a great idea. It says family and emergency contact information. And a simple way to do this is take a piece of computer paper, write out everybody's information that's in the house. If they have prescription medicine they're on, if they have any allergies or anything like that, who's the contact that doesn't live here that you want them to call. And you can simply put each of them in a separate gallon bag, seal it, and then each person keep that in their pocket. They got all their information and how to, somebody knows that, say they get knocked out by a tree branch, somebody finds them, they know who to call. So those are the basic ones. You could go as deep or as light as you would like to on this. I know a lot of people have all kinds of prep stuff and MREs and all kinds of things, and if that's what you want to do, that's cool. And I know the one that's not on here, but I did put a picture of it up from Walmart, bug spray. So if you do lose power, you're going to probably want to go outside a little bit more. And I'm not trying to get into a bunch of comments or arguing about what kind of bug spray to use. That's totally up to you. It's not any of our choices what you use. Same for me. I'm going to use what my wife and I are comfortable with using. But I would recommend some kind of bug deterrent because if you're outside more and there's been a lot of rain, equals a lot of moisture, and which creates a lot of mosquitoes. So it's just something to think about and to have handy. If you do have a generator, you need to make sure that you are reading the manual book that the manufacturer gave you with it, and you understand properly how to connect things in your house to it, where to put it outside of your home, how to refuel it, and all those things. And same with a whole house generator. There's some awesome electric companies around here that can help you with having those installed, where you don't even have to think about it if your power goes out, as long as you have a fuel tank, a propane tank or natural gas, whatever it runs off of at your home. It'll switch right over and you can keep going. So we're going to put the link to this list below in the captions. I hope this was beneficial to you, and if you have any questions, just go to Red Cross website and check it out. So thank you for watching.